The next topic which we are going to start with is atomic spectra. Before I start with atomic spectra, we should have an idea about the spectra. What is spectra? Spectra is plural and spectrum is singular. Electromagnetic spectrum also we discussed about, where we discussed that radiations of various wavelengths are arranged in the increasing order of their wavelength or decreasing order of their frequency. So that means spectrum is what? It is the set of various wavelengths. Similarly, when white light, say it is sunlight or maybe the white light, whatever is there, when it is passed through a prism, then it will get split up into the set of 7 colors. It gets split up into the set of 7 colors, that is Vibgyor. And this is also called as spectrum. This is also called as spectrum. So what does it mean? Spectrum is what? It is the set of various colors, or you can say set of various wavelengths, right? So that is how we can understand about spectrum. Now here you can see that violet is what? It is the minimum wavelength, while red is what? It is maximum wavelength. So this is spectrum of white light or spectrum of sunlight. Here all these 7 colors, violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red, all these colors, they appears merging into each other. So this type of spectrum, if all the colors or if the radiations of various wavelength, they appears to merge with each other, then it is called as continuous spectrum. Continuous spectrum. So what I am trying to tell you here, that when white light or the sunlight spectrum is observed, we get the continuous spectrum. What is a continuous spectrum? Where various radiations of various wavelengths, they appears merging with each other, is called as continuous spectrum. There is no clear cut demarcation of the various colors or various wavelengths. When various colors or wavelengths appears merging with each other, no clear cut demarcation, is called as continuous spectrum. While in opposition to this, if we talk about the atomic spectrum, like if we take an atom, or you can say salt of a particular element, like if we are taking sodium atom or the salt of sodium like sodium chloride, etc., and if we take the spectrum of that, then it won't be continuous. There will be certain lines appearing. So that kind of spectrum is called as line spectra. So what I am trying to say, that atomic spectra will always appear in form of line spectra, not like the white light or not like the sunlight spectrum, right? So atomic spectra will always appear in form of line spectra. Now atomic spectra can be of 2 types. It can be of 2 types depending upon what type of radiations are observed on the screen. What type of radiations? Like atomic spectrum can be emission spectrum, or it can be absorption. Now what is emission spectra? Say for example, we have a sample of sodium salt. Say it is a sample of sodium salt. Now some energies pass through this. The sample is irradiated with certain type of energy. It may be the light energy, it may be the heat energy, it may be the electrical energy. Now here the atoms present in the sample, they have gained the energy, and the electrons present here, they get excited. So the energy is absorbed by the sample. So here what happened? Absorption of energies happened, and now when the sample has already absorbed the energy, now it will start emitting out energy. This is what? This is energy emitted, and this emitted energy this is emitted radiations. Now these emitted radiations are observed on the photographic plate, or you can say on a screen. Then this type of spectrum is called as emission spectrum. So what is emission spectrum? How do we define? When the radiations are emitted by a substance, it may be the salt of an element, or it may be the sample of an element, whatever is there. So it is what? It is the radiations emitted from a substance which has already absorbed the energy. Now it is emitted. So that emitted radiations, if observed on the screen, then that is called as emission spectrum. Am I clear what I am trying to say? The sample is irradiated or is supplied with some energy. It may be in form of heat, or it may be in form of light, or it may be the electrical discharge passed through it, whatever. Now the atoms present or the sample has absorbed some energy. Now we know it very well, when sample has absorbed energy, after some time it will start emitting out also. So that emitted radiations are observed on the screen. So this type of spectrum is called as emission spectrum. Like if I talk about sodium or salt of sodium, it will give the yellow lines. It will be giving lines in the yellow region, or it will be giving yellow lines. Similarly, if we talk about the sample of potassium, like potassium chloride or maybe potassium atom itself, it will be giving violet lines. So what I am trying to say, that in various atoms will be showing various type of colors, or various type of lines, or maybe lines in various wavelength region, depending upon their nature. So this type of spectrum is called as line spectrum, because it is appearing in form of lines. Please understand, we are doing the classification of spectrum in two ways. One is on the basis of the pattern. If they are appearing in form of continuation, like if there is no clear cut demarcation between the various wavelength, it appears in continuation, it is called as continuous spectrum. So this is what? This is on the basis of the appearance, how is it appearing on the screen. If we observe it in form of clear-cut lines, then it is called as line spectrum. Now the second way of classifying the atomic spectra. Atomic spectra can be of two types, that is emission spectra and absorption spectra, and atomic spectra is always observed in form of lines only. So emission spectra is what? The sample is supplied with some energy, is exposed to some kind of energy, maybe heat, light, or electrical, and then the sample will absorb energy, and after some time it will start emitting out energy or emitting out radiations, and those emitted radiations or emitted energy is observed on a screen. Then it will be showing a particular wavelength lines on the screen. So this is called as emission spectra. Now moving to the next, that is absorption spectra. Now what is absorption spectra? Absorption spectra is opposite to this. What does it mean? Absorption spectra, as the name is indicating, the sample is again supplied, or the sample is again exposed to some kind of radiations, some kind of energy. Now the sample will be absorbing the radiations. So it will the particular kind of radiation, according to the nature of the atom or nature of the element, the kind of radiations are being absorbed by the sample, and the transmitted light is observed on the screen. So how is it different? Like here you can see that, say this is the sample, say we are taking sodium chloride sample itself. Now the sodium chloride sample, this sample is supplied with kind of energy, maybe light or heat or whatever is there. Now this sample has absorbed energy. So it has absorbed energy according to its nature, like sodium atoms are there, so according to its nature it has absorbed energy. It has kept that energy absorbed according to its nature. Remaining is transmitted. So please mind it, there we observe the emitted radiation, here we are observing the transmitted radiations, transmitted light, right? So transmitted light is observed on the screen. So here we will get the dark lines in the yellow region, the wavelength region in which where in the emission spectrum we got the yellow colored lines at the same place, or you can say in the same wavelength region, in place of getting the yellow lines we will be getting the dark lines. So we are getting, this is one dark line in the yellow region, this is another dark line in the yellow region, and rest everything is what? The rest everything is bright, except then these two dark lines. Rest everything is bright except then these two dark lines. So it is like this. Rest everything is bright. Bright in the sense it may be various colors. It may be various colors. It's not that it will be same color. So it may be various colors like this. But there will be dark lines observed in the yellow region. While if we talk about the emission spectrum, what happened in the emission spectrum? In the emission spectrum we got the yellow lines, or you can say we got the lines in the yellow wavelength region. So it was something like this. We can show it in this way, like it is here. Yellow lines were observed. So here in the same place where the yellow lines were observed in the emission spectrum, the dark lines are observed in the absorption spectrum. Why is it so? Because there we are observing the emitted radiations, while in this case in the absorption spectrum we are observing the transmitted light. So the light corresponding to the nature is still being absorbed with the sample, that is not emitted. That is why that color is still no, that color is missing. So we are getting the dark lines in the same place. So we can say this also, that absorption spectra is just like the negative of the photograph. Like say emission spectra is the photograph, the original one, and the absorption spectra is negative of that. So if we develop the color where the darkness is there, we will get the emission spectrum, something like this. So this is what is the emission spectra and the absorption spectra. Now one more thing I want to add here. So that for the sample of sodium chloride or sodium, we are getting the lines in the yellow region, while for the potassium we are getting lines in the violet region. Why is it so? It is because of that every atom is different. Every atom is having different size and nature, the nuclear charge, everything is different. So say for example, if we compare sodium atom and potassium atom, we should understand this is sodium atom. 2 electrons in the first shell, 8 electrons in the second shell, 8 electrons in the second shell, and 1 electron in the outermost shell. Now this outermost shell electron, when these atoms will be absorbing energy, this electron will be excited to the higher level. It will be excited to the higher level, maybe to the 4th, 5th or 6th or 7th shell, right? So that is how the excitation will take place. So this is for sodium atom. Now if I talk about potassium atom, in case of potassium atom, this is the first shell where there are 2 electrons present. This is the second shell where there are 8 electrons present. Now there is a third shell where there is again 8 electrons present. Then we have outermost shell, the 4th shell, where there is only 1 electron present. So now this electron will be excited to the 5th shell or to the 6th shell or to the next shell. So here we should observe that in case of sodium atom, the electron to be excited is present in the 3rd shell. Electron which is to be excited is present in the 3rd shell. So this 3rd shell electron is having some distance from the nucleus, while in potassium atom the electron is present in the 4th shell. So we can well observe here that this electron, in case of potassium, the electron is quite far apart as compared to sodium. So that is why in case of potassium, the force of attraction between nucleus and electron is less. Force of attraction between nucleus and electron is less. nucleus and electron is less, so the electron will be excited easily. As compared to it is sodium atom. So that is why here the energy absorbed for excitation will may be lesser as compared to it is required for the sodium atom, where the force of attraction between nucleus and the electron is quite high. So that is why here the energy will be different. So that is why, because the different atoms have different sizes, they have different nuclear charge also, and because of the different nuclear charge, different size, there is different force of attraction. That is why different energy is required for the excitation, and that's how they will be showing the different type of spectrum, whether it is absorption or emission. Each atom will be showing different kind of spectrum. That is why the spectrum is considered as the fingerprint of an atom. So now the question comes, why the spectrum is considered as fingerprint of an atom? Why is it so? Because the spectrum is unique for each and every atom. No two types of elements can have the same spectra. No two elements like sodium spectra cannot be like potassium spectra. It is just like the human fingerprints, that as the fingerprint of a person cannot match with the other person, that's how in the same manner the spectrum of one element can never be same as the spectrum of another element. So that is how, or that is why the spectrum is called as fingerprint of the element, or you can say it is considered as the fingerprint of atom. So this is used to identify the atom or element. Now how can we differentiate between the emission and absorption spectra? It is just the recapitulation of the concept whatever we discussed. Emission spectra is obtained when radiations are emitted. It is obtained with emitted radiations. While what about the absorption spectrum? Absorption spectra is obtained from the transmitted light. Here we observe the transmitted light on the screen. Now in the emission spectra, we will always get the bright colored lines because it is based on the energy emitted. We will always get the bright colored lines, while here we will get the dark lines. We will get the dark lines in the same wavelength region where we get it in case of emission spectrum. So that is how we can differentiate between the absorption spectrum and the emission spectrum. Thank you.